Good morning and Jai Hind everyone.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
I'm audible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Today we will have two sessions. First one will be lecturette and second will be about GPE, group planning exercise. Second session we will practice. I will explain few things and hopefully you should be able to clear all your doubts about group planning exercise. So we'll start with lecturette. Who is the volunteer? Good morning, sir.
Sai.
Okay, Renuka. Subodh, keep time.
Yes, you can start.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. For today's my lecture topic is agriculture
Yes,
of
sir.
farm or farm crisis in India. As per the recent headlines from today's newspaper states that exports of all the wheat have been moved from free to the prohibited category. As we all know that the production estimate of today's year is almost 98 million tons, which used to be earlier with more than 100 million tons of the wheat production in India. We all know that Haryana and Punjab are one of the most wheat producing states and hence called the green revolutionary states of India, but their wheat producing capacity has also got declined today. So what are these factors that are hindering the agriculture of India? On the contrary basis of this, as agriculture and with its allied sector is the largest source of India's livelihood. As we all know that almost 70% of rural households still depends primarily on the agriculture for their livelihood, and of which on almost 82% of farmers are still small and marginalized here. But still, we know that India is going through a harsh agricultural or farm crisis, and there are various reasons that are being the cause of these crises. Some of which are the surging prices of the key fertilizers that are being used by most of the small and marginalized farmers in for their agriculture. Some of these are recording high prices of the diesel or diesel and petrol, which are hence reverting for the transportation cost, which is for the farmers to transport their grains from one place to another. Then the cost of inputs is also increasing, and as we all know that small farmers usually do not benefit from the government short MSPs, as it is mainly benefited by the large traders who sell the grain in a large quantity to the government. There is a lack of coordination between the center and states, which results in improper implementation of schemes, which is also one of the factor, which is hence creating a cause for the agricultural crisis. We all know that today all the schemes of the government and everything is mostly available on the phone and on just on one click. But still, we know that there's a digital divide which is still there in the rural and urban India, which is withholding the farmers from the schemes that could benefit them. Yes, there are many measures that we can use that we in the agriculture that could be used to tackle this crisis in
Last
India.
30 seconds.
Are like farmers could be advised and guided in the economical method of cultivation, yeah, then technological advancements in agriculture and many more. But I guess the major thing that we should focus on, that the government needs to look into the matter seriously and take effective steps to eradicate like the factors leading to the farmer suicide in order to like get away this problem, because most of the initiatives of government are focused on providing or repaying the loans of the farmers,
Time up.
which the government can, rather than help the farmers in increasing their productivity and income, rather than just repaying their loans and reducing their debt, as it will be increasing if they are not producing in a high quality. Thank you.
Okay, good, Renuka. No, audio was little less low, but I could make out what you are speaking. I'm audible.
Yes, sir. Was the audio very low?
Um Reasonably low, but it's okay. I will see if there is a problem at my end when other speakers speak. Okay, uh, agriculture from different angle we can cover this. Renuka has covered from one aspect, about the farmers who are looking forward for growth. If you see worldwide how agriculture is shaping up, some of the countries are advanced in agriculture, Israel especially. Whenever there is a modernization discussion about agriculture field, the first name comes is about Israel. But the Indian agriculture field or overall scenario, if you see, we have different pockets within country. There are people who are adapting to the modern way of farming, especially Haryana, Punjab, Western Maharashtra, Western UP. So these are the people who are coping up with the time and technology. But there are areas where still the conventional way of farming is going on. Government has got lot of role because still majority of our farmers are looking up to government for support and some kind of subsidies. Obviously, that culture has to go off. What Renuka was highlighting, Karja Mafi, debt waiver is not a long-term solution. In fact, getting free of this, of getting away from this kind of mechanism is the solution. Karja Mukti. Because the mindset which the small farmers are having is what kind of benefits, support, some kind of loan waiver government can give. And in the bargain, the progressive mindset is not really shaping up. They are always looking up to government that what kind of help, monetary or otherwise, government can render. That is not the correct way. It will not instill pride in farmers. Farmers need to develop that pride that we are also entrepreneurs. We can move forward. There are enough examples in the country who have done innovative ways of farming. We need to take lead from them and let's look forward. Let's not beg from the government unless it is too severe, a drought or flood kind of situation where everyone is affected. But in a normal routine, when there is adequate rainfall, enough support from the nature, and still we are looking forward for subsidies and all, that is not the correct thing. And unfortunately, the governments over the years have done harm by shaping the minds of small farmers, especially who are looking forward for help. At times, it is unwarranted. That subsidy culture, we need to get out from that. Of course, there are problems. We are uh, a country where there are areas where less rainfall is there or a support from government is required, and that support, especially in canal irrigation system, government should have done in many pockets. It has been done in some pockets of the country, and there we see the growth, reasonable growth. Had it been done like interlinking of rivers or giving water from the surplus side to the uh, areas where it is literally drought prone areas, Rajasthan, some of the parts of Maharashtra, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, these are little areas where um, enough rainwater is not there. But when it comes to Bihar or Orissa or eastern part of country, some of the northern part of country where enough water is there, you see Indira Gandhi canal project, it has literally changed many parts of Rajasthan. It was totally desert, but things are coming up. You see Gujarat, a lot of areas are now under cultivation, which was not the case 40, 50 years back. So these are the examples where we need to really work and look forward. And because all said and done, no other sector can lift our GDP or lift our nation's economic status other than the agriculture, because it is a huge sector. We need to really work upon it, and unless and until we do it, our farmers will not be empowered. And once the farmers are empowered, everything will be sorted out. Most of the problems will be sorted out. Still, our rural economy needs support. Needs support in terms of government's attention to the correct areas, giving them electricity, water, and these two things will sort out most of the problems. Okay, good, Renuka. Who is next?
Yes, sir. Sir, I will.
Okay, Dubey sir. Okay, Renuka, keep time.
Yes, sir. You may start.
Dubey
Am I
sir,
audible?
not audible, Dubey sir. Maybe some network problem. Okay, we'll go ahead with Subodh.
Yes, sir.
Okay, little louder, Subodh. Renuka, keep time.
Hello. Now I'm
Yes, sir.
audible, sir.
Yes, yes, audible.
Yes.
You may start.
Okay. So good morning, gentlemen. Today's my lecture topic is sex education. So sex education includes the sexual health, the sexual intercourse, and the diseases which are caused by the diseases which are caused during the sex. We literally feel very tabooed when we talk about the sex education or giving sex education to the children. Especially, it is very tabooed in India. If I talk about the countries, the overseas countries, just like America, UK, there it is included in the part of it. And in India, we feel simply embarrassing when we talk about the sex education or giving some tips related to the sex. So it feels very embarrassing for us that talking about the sex education in front of the others. Similar kind of situation I also faced in my 10th. In when I was in 10th, our tuition teacher refused to teach the topic on sex education, and he simply told that you may read on your own. So this shows that our teachers are also not very much interested, or they feel very embarrassing regarding the regarding or providing sex education to their students. And because of the less education regarding the sex, the AIDS, we all know that the AIDS disease is spreading a lot. In the Africa, the AIDS is the epidemic disease, and this is spreading just because of the less knowledge regarding the sex education. At the age of 15 or 16, child are means the youth are committing the serious crimes just like rape, just because of the less importance or the knowledge of sex education. If I talk specifically about India, today also in India, spreading sex or creating awareness about the sex education is tabooed. Lots of the NGOs and the government agencies are working to provide the sex education, but still we are not ahead, and we will not develop until or unless we accept it, because it is a natural process. And the second most important thing is that we are still following the Western mode of education that Britishers gave to us, and because of that, we are not developing on that format, because the Britishers education model is simply of theoretical and not practical. But now government has initiated the NCF, that is the National Curriculum Framework. In that, they will provide good education for the children, for the youth, and for the children, and because of that, we will develop. Now, the other important thing is that in the 19th century, the children not get sex education directly at the age of 15 or 16. They can inherit the sex education with the help of their mother and fathers and the grandfathers, but they not get that much amount of sex education at that
Just
time.
30
But
seconds.
now, children are moving towards a very dangerous path of it. And according to my opinion, with the help of the internet and mobile phones, we are now connected with the sex education. But the children or the youth are using in it a different manner to watch the pornographical websites and to access it. And because of that, their imagination, or we can say it as their brain power, their brain memory is simply get vanishing, and they are getting brain means they are completely brainwashed, and they forced to do some serious crimes just
Time.
like the rapes and all those things. So lastly, and according to my opinion, I think that sex education should made compulsory in each and every school of India, and NGOs and government agencies should work on it. And it is not the duty of it only. The parents should have also tasked to provide sex education uh, to their young ones. Thank you.
Okay, Subodh, I think at my end there must be a problem because even Subodh I could hear with less strength of audio. It's okay. I could make out. These are the areas where we need to really focus, especially what Subodh was highlighting in the internet accessible area where everyone is having access to internet and the cost is very low. Unfortunately, during COVID period, every kid has got mobile in hand now, mobile or laptop, and internet accessibility. So we need to be more responsible when it comes to our behavioral pattern, our education system, awareness about every aspect. Though corresponding to our age, we should be evolving. but much ahead of today's generation age, they are getting exposure. That is very dangerous. In the name of freedom of expression or privacy or some kind of space to the young generation, there is a likelihood that the kids in the coming days, coming years, are likely to be spoiled, may not be taking correct decisions once their thinking pattern is affected. So now comes the time to think on the lines of China or North Korea, where everything is banned. The government controls what is to be read and seen by the citizens of the country. So maybe for the school going and college going kids, some kind of regulation, some kind of legal format of education, some kind of systematic framework where education is streamlined, not that anything and everything is exposed to the young minds. Because once our future generations are not nurturing well, we cannot have a bright future. If you see off late pattern, it is not only about what Subodh was highlighting in the sex education, it is about everything. The behavioral pattern of today's generation is going in a wrong direction. The number of criminal activities, crimes which are happening, and the involvement of juveniles, young college going kids, youth below 18 are more now, including murders and whatnot. This is dangerous. The pattern of movies and web series and what all programs the young minds are exposed to is a cause of worry now. And at least through this forum, I would like to appeal, be very, very wise when you see programs, when you see movies or web series. Try and understand what kind of message is there. If it is appropriate, learn good things. If it is inappropriate, especially from the family value system, from the relationship management system, from the temperament of our behavior, because you see how easily one gets tempted to violence. This is not happening in one day. This is happening with a systematic bombardment of lot of what we can say through social media. Some kind of warfare is going on, some kind of indoctrination is happening. Time will tell whether this was deliberate by some of the parts of the world, some of the agents or agencies or nations of the world, by keeping their own societies intact, and some of the developing societies going into wrong directions. In China, there is no freedom, but in the world, Chinese people are spreading so many things. So it is important to understand, in the name of freedom, can we have everything, anything on our palm top? We cannot have access to anything and everything, or social media access, or some kind of freedom of expression and doing anything. No, that is not correct. Probably time has come to filter the things. Okay, apart from Subodh's topic, I was highlighting the need of some kind of monitoring, some kind of structured education, structured monitoring for the behavioral pattern of young minds, especially. A lot of cases are coming up when a person in isolation, irrespective of age, susceptible to the indoctrination of social media or some kind of serials and movies one watches, and then plans something, that person is spoiled, firstly. Secondly, that person is a threat to the society now, to the family also. There are many crimes which are happening now. Okay, who is next? Dubey Saab?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, I think there are some network issues. Subodh, keep time.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Sir, you can start.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Good morning, sir, and my dear friends. As we all know that nowadays everyone want to remain happy. For having happiness, it is necessary to have a good health. Yes, friends. In next 2 to 3 minutes, I would like to tell you about digital health mission. Friends, for easy understanding of topic, I'll cover it in three parts. What is digital health mission? What are the benefits, challenges, and thereafter I'll conclude the topic. Friends, what is digital health mission? Digital health mission has been started by the government of India in view of providing all necessary health infrastructure and health facilities to each and every individual digitally. Yes, friends, in this digital health mission, we will provide digital health ID card to the persons and thereafter health facility registry for health workers also. In this system, primary personal health records will be linked and thereafter telemedicine facility will be provided, doctor with facility will be provided, and thereafter digital signature will be provided free of cost. Yes, friends, there are a number of benefits of this scheme started by the government of India, like convenience for the patients. Convenience for the patients, many documents has to be carried by the patients whenever they are going to the any of the doctor, but now by this facility they didn't require any of the document to be carried physically, and thereafter it will reduce the overall expenses whenever they are going for the testing at that time. If they have done any of the test, they are not required to test it again and again, so it will reduce the expenses, and thereafter efficacy of the treatment. Whenever the doctor will be able to know all the history about regarding the patient, then definitely he is going to give a good medicine or going to treat you well. And thereafter it is also very good as health insurance policy will be much more, and thereafter it will also reach to the rural areas. That is the biggest factor, because whenever we are thinking that in rural areas there is no health facility is provided, or very less health facility is given there, so it will also reach to them also. And thereafter challenges, there is a challenges like chances of misuse is there. If you are providing all the information on your digital media, then definitely it is it is having such type of misuse concern. And thereafter it will definitely there will be some ethical breaching issues or privacy issues will be there. And thereafter quality of records, which type of records they
Last
have
30 seconds.
maintained, or which type of records they have not maintained. And another thing is that the biggest thing is that our country is not providing much more budget for the health infrastructure. That's the meager health budget is there. So we have to think about it also. And at the end, I want to conclude that health digital literacy is important for providing this type of facility, and thereafter health literacy and knowledge to each and everyone. If there is a village, then we have to create that type of persons who are able to provide that type of facility to others also. Like we have seen that there are a
Time
number of
out.
illiterate person are there, then should be some persons who can do work for them also. And there is a clear framework should be there, so that definitely the private sector should also come forward. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, good Dubey Saab. I think new topic, digital health mission. If you see in the coming times, it will be totally digital records, digital kind of world. Everything will be in the data format, and health sector is going to be important because we are humans. Our health, COVID has proved that we are nowhere. We thought we are modernized, we thought we are advanced, we thought we are conquering the world, but it is not the case. We are way behind. We are nowhere. We have a lot of problems and challenges. We don't have enough database. Imagine a country of 130 crore plus people. We don't have enough database. In case of some kind of emergency, how can we monitor, help our own people? Even our national population, when we carry out census, some kind of surveys, it is not easy to keep these records. But when it comes to some kind of challenges, especially after COVID, the world has to be prepared for reactions at short notice. So it will be prudent to have some kind of database, some kind of digital health records, some kind of capturing of data, wherein we can then respond in a much better way. For example, if you see, we have kids below 10 years, then we have till 18 years, 10 to 18 bracket, then we have 18 to 30, we have age bracket of senior citizens, and in that, if we have their disease related history, some kind of area specific problems, then it will be easy to respond. It is either way actually. Some of the countries will utilize such kind of profiling for targeting the population, and from our own nation point of view, it will be to respond in a better way in case of some emergency crops up. It is something like that. In COVID period, we were trying to protect in the initial days kids and the elderlies because they were susceptible. There was some pattern emerging. In the first wave, rural area was little safe. In the second wave, it was not the case. We were trying to understand the virus development pattern, how it was impacting human health, because even country wise response, some of the developed countries were having severe problems. So, such kind of profiling, such kind of studies, such kind of digital health records will help in future because this is just a beginning. In future, it will be severe because some notorious country will launch biological warfare. It will be a deliberate attack, some kind of offensive, and it will be difficult to come out of that attack unless and until we have some mechanism, some data in our hand so that we filter out such kind of people who are likely to be targeted, because biological warfare will start with some kind of preparation by adverse countries. XYZ country, if attacks enemy with a biological weapon, it will be after thorough study. Some specific age bracket may be targeted, some specific disease pattern may be targeted. It can be anything. It may be under trials. Okay. Good. Dubey sir. Who is next?
Saran.
Okay, Sanjivani. Dubey sir, keep time.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. You may start, please.
Okay, good morning to all. Today my lecture topic is wildlife protection. Wildlife like trees is also a domestic asset that not only help to maintain the ecological balance but also benefit from financial recreation and assist point respectively. There was a time when the number of wild animals was quickly large. When human interfere was minimum, and there was no issue with their safety or conservation. But with the development of farming, settlement industry, and other development activities, the primary due to the means the number of wild animal are decreases. Then deforestation. Deforestation is also major case of wildlife loss. Mass murder of wild animal are taking place all over the global from their bones, teeth, hair, skin, etc. The need for conservation of wildlife has now become unnecessary. Wildlife preservation does not immediately blank protection for all the species of fauna and flora. Rather, it means acquired jurisdiction control over the multinational of crops and animals that communicate to provide a suitable atmosphere for the man who very life is at the risk today. While the word national must be very specific in terms of wildlife conservation, that amount of wildlife is demanding day by day. The World Wildlife Fund and its global organization that does not job to encourage wildlife protection. National agency are also involved in the wildlife conservation. The some step by toward the wildlife conservation. First is to study and recall all the wildlife data in particular the amount and development of wildlife. Then
One significant
habiting protection through forest protection animals against population and natural hazard. Then full limitation on wildlife hunting and capture to create a general understanding of the wildlife protection at domestic and international level. Then lastly, I want to conclude that wildlife
Time up.
conservation is necessary for sustainable development. Various effects have been made all the international and national level. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Sanjivani, wildlife protection, it's a prime duty as a developed species. Among all these species, we take that honor and pride that we are the most developed. So comes with that is the responsibility of protecting the overall environment, taking the lead in safeguarding our Mother Earth. All species, we should be keeping a close eye how they are getting affected. Unfortunately, we are not keeping eye. We are busy in our own development, and some of the species are endangered now. We know whatever known history we have that dinosaurs got wiped out for whatever reason. There are some theories which say something, but today's world we can focus. If our development is happening, a lot of towers are coming up, small birds are getting affected. When our water gets polluted, the aquatic life, the species are getting affected. We need to take care because overall this universe is beautiful, and those who understand in a philosophical way or a scientific way, there is a bottom line that everything is balanced, and if we disturb this balance, it will impact or it will backfire on us, and it happens. We do some kind of projects in hilly areas, then there are sudden earthquakes and landslides and whatnot. If we do something unwarranted and the overall temperature rises, we have some kind of tsunamis and some kind of problems. So all those things we need to understand that while we are developing, we should be keeping balance, and a lot of species, if they are getting hampered, we need to take a step back. Okay, who is next? Volunteer. I will not force, but I want everyone to just participate because unless and until you open up, there is no point that you are dreaming of doing something in life. Your communication skill is very important, and your so-called inhibition or some kind of shyness, it has to go. Nobody is perfect. Let mistakes happen. Mistakes will happen. It will get reduced once you practice more. That is very important. And the confidence level will grow up when you practice more, you participate more. As such, here you are not switching on video, so that half the problem or fear, it should go off. Okay, no one, should we move to next session now?
Sir, can I?
Okay, Omkar is waking up now. Okay. Sanjivani, keep time.
Yes, sir. Omkar, you can start.
Today's my lecture topic is President of India. That's in the Article 52 to 62. The Indian President is the head of the state and he also called the first citizen of India. He is a part of Union Executive provision of which are dealt with Article 52 to 78, including the article related the President, Article 52 to 62. Under this article, information on how a president is elected, his power and function, and also his impacted process is given. The President of India is a head of the state and primary executive along the Vice President, Counselor of Minister, and Attorney General of India. First of all, we see the how is President elected. There is no direct election of the Indian President. An electoral college elect him. The electoral college college responsible for President's election compares elected numbers members of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, legislative assemblies of the state, legislative assembly of the Union Territory of Delhi and Puducherry. Then no, there is a who does not take part in the president election. The nominated member of Rajya Sabha and nominated member of legislative assemblies are not take the part in the elections. The once the president is elected, he holds office for 5 years. He sat in the office even after the completion of 5 years, given no new election has taken place or no new president has been elected till then. He can also be re-elected, and there is a no cap on his re-election. The president needed he should be a Indian citizen. His age should be a minimum of 35 years. He should qualify the condition of the elected as a member of Lok Sabha. He should not hold any office of profit under the central government, state government, or any public authority. He can't be a member of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and he also a member of either of House. He should vacate the seat on the first day as the president in the office. The after that the president when office is vacant, when the president is complete the terms of 5 years in the office. For the execution action that India government takes is to taken his name, his appointment the Attorney General of India and determine his requirement. Is the head of the state governors finance commission of India. Also he appoints national commissions of India. He appoints internal state council. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Omkar, good. Any competitive exam, you need to understand our constitution, articles, important articles, the some of the appointments, the president, prime minister, election system, then Supreme Court. These are basic data you must understand because this forms part of even competitive exams objective papers, and then in some kind of group discussion or somewhere it may help you how things exactly actually happen. And as a citizen also, learned citizen, we need to have basic knowledge about our own constitution, all these appointments, election system, because a lot of people don't know how Rajya Sabha people are elected, how there are some nominations, then there are two assemblies in many states, how the other assembly works, then there are some representatives and who elects them. Similar is president. Omkar has brought out some of the aspects, and these are important. One must, this is the phase you must understand, learn, read more about all these topics because whole life it will be beneficial for you. Okay, good, Omkar. Such topics are very, very important, essential, and you must know little bit about it. You may not be doing research on it unless someone is planning to do PhD in such kind of topics. But then, as a basic student for any competitive exam, one has to know little bit history, then some kind of political science, and all those elementary things. Okay, good. Who is next? Ajit, Nikhil, then who all are there? Um, Okay, Lakshmi Chavan. I think you can give at least introduction. Chavan.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we spoke yesterday.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. You can give just introduction to start with because that is how you break the ice. You have to start. Ajit, you are not speaking. Nikhil is not speaking. Okay. Uh, Chauhan, what is your first name?
So my name is Lakshmi Rupesh Chavan.
Okay, okay. Your name is. I thought because many students join from mother's name or father's ID, or then it is confusing. Okay, Lakshmi, go ahead. Give just your introduction, your educational background, your hobbies, your family background, and what you are preparing for or looking forward, so that others also know. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, sir. First of all, Jayant, everyone. My name is Lakshmi Rupesh Savan. Recently, I have given the 10th standard board exams, and I live in Ahmednagar. My school name was Sacred Heart Convent High School, and I'm planning to do NDA. And my hobbies are playing archery. I play the sport archery, and even I've reached till national level. I have the medals, two medals of national level, and given the selection trial of international archery championship. And also, that's also. Thank you, sir.
Okay, great to know, Lakshmi. You are a sports person and of a high caliber. I look forward your NDA selection because that will be right platform for you to exhibit your talent, leadership, and I know what I could note that you are a die-hard aspirant for NDA. Good, and NDA entry opening for girls is a really great thing with limited seats, but it's okay. Some of the girls like Renuka and all they missed because it has come late. Sanjivani, Renuka, but it's okay. Renuka,
Yes, sir.
okay. Had it been little couple of years earlier, you would have been in NDA.
Surely.
Huh? Okay, no
At
issue.
least tried.
Destiny is generally we believe that there is something in our destiny. You never know. Now AppCat and all, it will be a success. When is your next attempt, Renuka?
So I recent just got the dates. It's on 23rd of June.
Okay. You have got reasonable time. Just revise everything. Okay. Anyone else wants to speak? No. Okay. Why we want you to speak? Let me reiterate. See, whenever you are thinking of doing something good in modern world, forget about competitive exams. Communication skill. Your generation is now having problems. Your generation is a selfie generation. Your generation is an isolated generation. Within family also you have less communication. You have no outdoor activities, and these will be challenges for your life. Probably you will not realize today. In coming years, you will realize there will be so many psychological problems to the people who are not paying attention for communicating to the world. When we say communication, it's a very broad term actually. It is not only about how you speak, it is your overall behavioral pattern. When you interact with people, more the merry. When you interact within family, you know your own people. Your interaction will be friendly. Your interaction will be favorable and comfortable. But when you go to the outer world, you meet unknown people. You have challenges to communicate and convince. When you go to job, you have got fresh challenges. When you go to competitive exams, especially SSB is a beautiful forum where within limited time you try to convince the assessors that here is I have got these officer like qualities and I am going to be a future leader of this country in armed forces. So this communication, on one hand, I strongly recommend you must focus. On second hand, For your personal life, you need to understand the importance of communication within family, with yourself. I've taken a session in hostel here where I was trying to highlight the importance of communication within ourselves, because there are two distinct parts. Trying to speak to yourself, or introspection, or chintan, or manan, whatever you call, that is also a communication, which is an essential part of our development. Second comes within family, close circle. When we say family, I mean it close circle, your friends, relatives, your family members. This is what we call it as an inner circle. Then comes the outer circle, where you go and interact with the outer world. So you have to have a smartness, you have to have capabilities for effective communication, and that will not happen in one day. It will happen over a period. You see any good orator today, that person has not acquired those skills overnight. It's a process, it takes time. I remember distinctly I could not speak a single word when I was told to speak in my school. But it's courtesy development within armed forces or the opportunities. Then I feel, once I look back, it is a process and it is applicable to one and all. Whether it comes to your effective speaking, primarily it revolves around the language skill, and secondly about your maturity to dwell upon many aspects of that issue. You see, on a similar topic, if 10 people speak, some of them are impressive, not all of them. Why? It happens because the overall thinking ability, touching upon the smallest aspect and broadest aspect, that is a skill. Communication is a skill actually, and which is an art also. There is no foundations when you speak. There are so many good speakers in the country, in the world. You must try and learn from them. Here comes that beautiful use of that YouTube. Utilize it instead of watching songs and all those things in this age, particularly. Don't waste time on unwarranted things, which you can do in latter years. Entertainment, especially in a broader sense. Don't focus on entertainment. The problem is we spend too much of time at wrong age on such silly things. When you want to prosper in life, today you have to develop your personality. And that is why I harp upon Lecturette. This is a small process where you speak for 3 minutes, but you are shaping your future. You are nurturing, you are cultivating your future. You are taking steps toward effective leadership abilities. When we talk about SSB, it is specific 15 OLQs, but it is for the life. You will not be wasting your time once you are practicing such kind of sessions, attending such kind of forums. Try and learn and make your life beautiful. Just dreaming will not make it beautiful. You have to have hard work supporting it. Dreaming is easiest thing. Everyone dreams. Even that is also important. Dream big, beyond your imagination, and work towards it, and it can happen. Okay, any doubt? We will take 2 minutes break, and we will start for group planning exercise. In that, I know Subodh will participate, Renuka, Dubey Saab, Omkar, Sanjivani, and those who can participate will participate for practice also. Others who don't know much can just listen. We will take 2 minutes break, okay,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
without disconnecting. So second session after 2 minutes.